When you're dealing with sensitive networking equipment, you have to be really careful that you don't make the wrong changes. And so I have a method that I save my configurations and make changes. So I'm going to show you that right now. So my last video, I showed you how to save a configuration, and that's what I'm going to do first, is I'm going to save the configuration. So I am going to go to Change Settings. I am going to go to Logging, and I want just printable output. I hit Apply. The session log file. Let's just make sure we got the right location there. So change, logging, printable output. Well, it's pretty much the same name except for this is the second version. So I'm going to say -2 and then hit apply. And then what I'll do is I will come in here and do my show run to capture those changes. So all of those are going to go into that file. I will then stop the capture. So I need to go in here, logging, none, apply. I'm going to open that up now. So I'll open this up. I'm going to use Notepad to do it. I could just append .txt on the end of it, and then it'll automatically choose Notepad there. So since I've captured this, I do have these mores that are in here. I want to get those out of there. So I'm going to replace, and I'll replace all, and now it's just replaced it with blank. So there you have it. So now I've saved my configuration, and I just go in here and click Save to save a copy of it. And now if I ever need to go back to that version, I can go back to that version. So the next thing that I'll do is I'll do a save as, and I'll do save as and put maybe changes at the end of this. So I know what I'm changing. So I'll click save, and now this is a copy of it. And let's say in this particular situation right now, I just want to work with Fast Ethernet 00. So I'll delete everything else and get everything else off of this document, because that's the only thing that I'm going to make a change with. And so there I have now just the interface. And on the interface, maybe I want to change the IP address. And so what I'll do is I'm going to change this IP address. So I'm going to take this IP address out, and then I'm going to put a new IP address in. So I'll put that in there, and then the new IP address is going to be, well, how about .111? And then maybe I'm also going to take the EUI IP version 6 out, so I'm going to take that out. I'm going to leave this IP version 6 in, and I'm not going to make any changes to that. So now I've got a copy of these changes right here. And one other thing I'm going to do before I do this, I'm going to make a copy of this, and I'm going to show you one other thing here. So there you have it. Then I'm going to delete these items that are not going to change. So I'll delete those right there. And then to be in here, I have to go into the global configuration mode. So the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to end, and I'm going to copy, run, start. So now I have all of the commands that I'm going to make for this change. And this is great because not only is it streamlining when I implement the change here, but it's also something that I can go back and check to see what changes that I did make during this. So then the other thing that I will do sometimes, depending on what the change is, especially if I'm pre-staging this ahead of time for a big change that's coming up. So what I would do is I would down here create the backout, what I would want to do if I want to back out my changes. Like let's say something went wrong, I need to re-implement this IP address. So I'm going to take out the new IP address. I'm going to put in the new IP address, or the old IP address, put that back into place. And I haven't done anything with this, so I could leave that out of there, and then I would re-add this. So this is my backout plan now. And if I wanted to get really crazy with it, what I could also do is put at here the conf t to get inside of it, and then end, and copy, run, start. So there's my backout plan. Hopefully I don't have to use it. Hopefully everything goes well. And then what I'll do now is, now that I've got these changes, I'll click on save, and I will start pasting them into my router. Sometimes I'll paste them all in one chunk. Sometimes I will paste it in batches, and sometimes I'll paste it in just one line at a time, especially depending on what kind of changes there are. So these changes, I think I'm going to batch the first part of it. So I'll just take this and control copy that. I'm going to paste it in here. It's going to put all of those changes in there. And then I'm going to then save these configurations, because now maybe I've tested it and figured that they're good. So then I go through, and now it's building the configuration. Then the last thing that I'll do with this is create a copy, a final version of this. So I'll come back here and change settings, logging, printable, and we're going to call this maybe final. Put something like that at the end of it. So hit apply, and then I'm going to do a show run and capture that last final version of this. Once I do that, I am going to now stop the capture of this. So I'll click none, apply, and let's take a look and see what we have. So what I have here now is the copy of this document before I made any changes to it, the copy of the changes that I did make to it, and the backout plan if I ever needed to back it out. And I have the final copy of the changes. So that is the method that I use, and I found that it allows me to really have a lot of quick pivot very quickly. If anything goes wrong, then I know how to back this out, or I have an older copy of this that I can put into place. And then I just keep these for a while. I keep them in the folder, and they just stack up for a while. You need to be careful because they need to be secure. They have somewhat sensitive information about your network and how it is configured on there. But keeping these handy can save you some time and effort in the future if anything ever goes wrong. So that's the methodology that I use anytime that I'm making changes on these big systems.